What's up, visionaries? Back with another video today. And as I always like to tell you guys, I'm on a mission in 2026 to hit over 100,000 subscribers. I'm going to have to consistently keep putting out videos and thoughts and things that I have in my head that can help you guys position yourself, because we are going through the greatest wealth transfer of all time, known as the Great Reset. Now, I want you guys to understand one thing. This isn't going to be a channel where I try to indoctrinate you with a belief. I only want to present information in a way that you guys can understand and digest. And the biggest thing that I want you guys to take away from all of this is that crypto at one point was speculative. It was in 2018 when I first started, there was all this talk about, was Bitcoin going to be the reserve currency? Was it going to replace the dollar? And things like this. And the reason why I'm making this video today is because I want to tell you a little bit about my thought process on why I know that I'm in the right place at the right time, and why you actually need to stop taking away the crypto bro mentality where it's like win Lambo. And I want you to start thinking about this as a real asset class and how to build a real portfolio. Because one thing that I know for sure is that many people today, they are being pulled in different directions. We think about things that don't matter all the time. And I know this is going to be a controversial take, but I want people to understand that flat earth, right? Let's just say if the earth is flat or not, right? At the end of the day, if the earth is flat or round, it doesn't matter. It's what you're going to do about it. What are you going to do about it? If the earth's flat, what exactly do you plan on doing? If everything's a CIA operation, what are you going to do about it? See, the reason why I'm saying this is not to have a fun engagement debate. It's to wake you up that it's time for you to double down on your conspiracies. Why do I say that? Because when I talk about institutional investors, a lot of people always like to use the phrase, the term elitism, right? And what is it, nepotism, and all these other things. These things sound romantic to say, and you feel like you're saying and doing something, but at the end of the day, what are you actually doing to change the narrative of your life? You have to be a person who's willing to save yourself so you can save others. So what does that mean, Mike? You can sit there and think that BlackRock owns everything. In the age of information, ignorance is a choice. What does this mean? That if you know that BlackRock owns everything and you subscribe to the belief of following the money, and you know that investing is the only way that everyday people can ever become financially free, why not build your portfolios and assets in alignment with BlackRock? Because I'll tell you one thing, if they own everything, you're not going to be able to rally. Your politicians are paid, both Democrat and Republican, by the same people. When they go to lobby, when they go to tour, you see them carrying these people around. Half the time you'll see like Mark Zuckerberg and Sergey Brin, and I forgot the Indian fellow guy. I forgot his name. But you'll see them go before Congress, and guess what happens? Nothing. They're running circles around Congress because Congress doesn't understand what they're actually doing. And I want you guys to realize this, and don't lose hope. I'm not telling you to lose hope. There's still a strong fighting chance. What I'm saying is, in the fourth industrial revolution, in the Great Reset, the old way, the way your parents, grandparents did at Kent State and protesting, none of those are effective anymore. It's a different ball game that we're playing now. And that's what I want you guys to know. We're in a different end game now. I want you to understand that you have to be a person who realizes that we're playing with different tools and resources now. You have to be a person, you got to build a team of people, one who's paying attention to AI, one who's paying attention to the macroeconomics, one who pays attention to geopolitical. Because if you start being a person who tries to pay attention to all of them, you won't be any good at any of them. And I'm not saying you got to taste a little bit of everything. I know a little bit about a lot of stuff, but I'm an expert when it comes to figuring out investing and how money works. And this is what I want you guys to know. Because a lot of you guys live in this world now. Here's the big thing. We live in this world now where we have these aha, got you moments, right? And this is something that every time I think about it, is more people want to be right than they actually want something to be proven that it works. Meaning that a lot of people would rather be like, yeah, I know you're using Chat GPT. Like, this is the thing that really grinds my gears the most. Is that so many people will always be like, we can tell you're using AI. Good. I want you to, because I also want you to do it. But also what I want you to challenge me to how much do you think I actually know? Because a lot of people think that now there's going to be people who are lazy and they do just lazy input and get lazy output. Me, I built my custom instructions. I worked on prompt engineering on how to use role task goal and use different other ways of prompting in order to get the results that I want. I do research on what is the actual role that I want someone to play within my business. I'm not getting the same answers as all you basic Barneys out there and basic Barbies. See, what I'm trying to tell you is that instead of being a person who's so proud that you can recognize an M dash only because you've seen people using Chat GPT use it, but you don't understand what the context of the M dash uses because you don't know it from books. You've never read. Most people haven't read a full book in years and doesn't even know how long. This is why I want you guys to start thinking about all the ways that you're being tricked out of your position, to not understand how the chess pieces are moving across the board. See, when you look at the deep shift, look at who's the woman? I'm trying to think in my own head, but I'm asking if you guys can I can't think of her name right now. The woman who has ARK Invest, I can't think of her name right now. So the woman who's the head of ARK Invest, here's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand, like following the money. I want you to look at how her portfolio is built, how her funding is built, how her index is built. What does she hold? These are the things that you have to look at. I wasn't paying attention. Keeping my eyes on the road. It looks like I'm driving and recording, but I'm actually looking at the road more. I was down bad on that. I want you to look at Cathie Wood. There we go. Oh man, if you're watching this, Cathie Wood from ARK Investment. I want you to look at what her holdings are, right? And then I want you to go into my community if you want. You can either click the link in the description. I always have the same one, and you'll get my top crypto picks, right? You're going to get my top picks for this cycle based on infrastructure. You will also get my 3C crypto method so you can understand exactly what my strategy was that I took from $14,000 into multiple seven figures, right? And no, this isn't some get rich quick scheme. You have to digest what it is that I'm trying to say to understand how you can do it. The only thing is here's the problem that many people have. When I find out when I do the one-on-one consultations with people, everybody wants the results, but they want you to do it on your back, right? And then so not only do they want to pay for the consultation, right? Or they also want you to produce the results in a timeline that is unrealistic because that's not the timeline that I made my money on. Even if you go with someone who's trading, right? An experienced trader, just like Malcolm Gladwell says in Outliers, is that the only way you could become a professional or savant in something is to put in 10,000 hours of work. There are no shortcuts. The only shortcut is how much effort you're going to put into getting to those 10,000 hours. There are no shortcuts. And the thing is everybody likes to have this YOLO mentality, right? You only live once, you're going to die every day. There's people that used to say that when I was in the 20s and 30s, right? When I was in my 20s and 30s, people used to say YOLO all the time, thinking that you can die any day. But what happens when any day is when you're 78 and you wasted years of your life trying to do something isn't working. You wasted years of your life. When does people get so fed up when you tell them to save money, right? I got to enjoy life, right? Well, 10 years pass and you still are not enjoying life as much as you have. I got work and all this other stuff. Yeah, I know. I know you do. That's why you got to take the sacrifice to change something. If you want to lose weight, you have to stop eating cheeseburgers every day and pizza. And then there's going to be all these health and fitness people who's going to be like, no, you can still eat the things you love. Yeah, while you consuming supplements most of the time. Have a protein shake. I'm talking about eating every square meal like you're in a Denny's commercial, a Chili's commercial, and a Carrabba's commercial. Every meal has to be some extravagant thing. And I can tell you, no matter how much money you get, the people who actually make money and spend their money on investing, those are the people who win. Those are the people who, see, these are the people that will always, everyone always likes to judge this, right? And this is one of my biggest qualms with people on the internet. And I always say something that doesn't get enough hate, right, is negativity. People will think that they are helping you out by telling you to be cautionary of something, right? You miss an opportunity. And then really all you had to do was 1 month, not go out 3 or 5 times a day. You can blame the economy, right? And this is the other part. The economy sucks. I don't care what anybody gets up there and say. You can look around and tell that people aren't spending money the way they used to. People aren't doing the things they used to. And then, so that's why it's not that the lifestyle content on social media, and this is what's interesting. There isn't a shit that the lifestyle content doesn't work. People still like to see people spending money, right? Because it's this thing that programs people. It's in marketing, right? That's why in the prescription commercials, they always have people smiling while they're saying they have diarrhea and may cause suicidal thought, and they say it fast. See, I want you guys, when I say you take a peek into my mindset and how I think, and I'm going to wrap this up because I want this video to only be like 15 minutes long, is that I want you guys to start thinking about all the different ways that the reality you see coming is coming. Why? Because let me tell you, people were like, in the Fed, in the Fed, in the Fed. See, all the things are telling you that the most of the political stuff is all based off of handshakes and backdoor business deals, right? No. And then so everything's going to be based off handshakes and backdoor business deals, right? So then everybody's going to promise you something on the campaign. I don't care if it's Obama, Biden, George Bush, Donald Trump, whoever it is, they're all doing the same thing. And that's why I really want you guys to start focusing on and seeing the board that instead of trying to be a CNN anchor or a Fox News network, the next Tucker Carlson, the next Candace Owens, the next Ian Carroll, anybody else, turn all that noise off. Like the Epstein's files, like, and I kind of like, and I can't say that I kind of like, I know this is controversial. I don't really, and I'm saying it anyway. I kind of get when Donald Trump's like, are we still talking about that? Even though he's like, you know, the signs point that he may be on it. I don't know anything. The signs point that I don't know. I'm the kind of person who believes that if you're going to take the same reason why I thought that you would never see the Epstein files is the same reason why I ignore everything that I hear now. Because at the beginning, when everybody, whomever it was that initially brought up that we're going to expose the Epstein files, right? And how it was, we just want to see the list. Who's on the flight logs? And I was like, well, once you say, like, just think about this logically. And I don't think people do. I know that's almost screaming like fire in a movie theater. Just think about it logically. If you think that everyone who is on the flight log, this is why now when the narrative changes that it's a blackmail ring, of course it is. You guys already created the narrative that whoever is on the list is a PDF file. That's the part that like this so like we have lost so much logic and common sense because we're too busy trying to fight a civil war or a race war with each other, right? That none of you guys have critical. Even you took that word. The political pundits have taken the word woke, right? I'm triggered by it. They've taken the word woke and think about it. Woke means not asleep. Full stop. I don't care how you rebrand it. And if words are powerful, just think about how silly it is to say that you're anti being awake. I'm not awake. I'm not awake. I'm anti woke. I'm anti woke. I'm anti woke, right? And I want you to take how they take all of these words and they twist them around. And that's why words are powerful, because we're malleable. Like, you think like kids are malleable? Adult humans are malleable, especially if you go from being a child who's trying to learn from the world to where you become an adult who's somebody who's just trying to survive in said world based on what you thought that you were being taught about the world. And so, guys, as I said, this was too long. I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers, guys. And what I really want is for you guys to wake up and realize that you got to start taking this stuff seriously. You got to start asking the important questions and seeking to understand and not react. And that's the only way that you're going to be successful and survive throughout this, is that you got to keep asking questions. Don't just react or try to tell people stuff, right? Present information in a way opens the dialogue. So, guys, if you like this type of content, hit like, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get 100K, and I'm going to post a video a day, short form content. I'm going to just do the whole content thing, and I really like YouTube and TikTok. See you on the next one.